I got a video to put out. I don't think I'm going to be able to watch Monday Night Football. It's a shame because we're live right now, by the way. But it's a shame because I made my big upset of the week the Monday Night Football game. So we got to wait till the end of that game to find out if I got it right or not. But anyway,
I think you will get it right, by the way.
I think so. But we've been live for 23 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is episode 123 of the Battle of Ohio podcast. The Bengals had a bye week, and we're ready to get back into it. The Browns, they might need another bye week after that performance against the Dolphins, man.
No, the bye weeks could have looked bad during the bye week, so I don't think another bye week would be a good idea.
Well, okay, maybe not. But obviously, we'll talk more about that in a bit. But before we get started, the Steelers appear to be playing themselves out of a top draft pick. Because why, Thomas?
Because Pittsburgh still sucks.
They do still suck. They can't even suck right. That's how much they suck.
Yeah, they suck.
They're over here they're beating teams that they have no business beating. And you know what? I'm just gonna do the intro. We'll get into that in a sec.
Let's do the intro.
Welcome to the Battle of Ohio podcast, where we follow the revival of the historic rivalry between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
Okay, so obviously we'll have plenty to say about the Steelers at the end of the episode. But
we got a lot to say about a lot of stuff.
We got a lot.
I'm doing orange light.
You want to rip the Band-Aid off with the Browns, or you want to?
Oh no, we got to talk. We do. Come on, man. Let's get. How we want to do? Bengals had a bye. I mean, I know you got something to say about the Bengals. You probably want to talk about some like nerdy shit about the Bengals. Yeah, the Bengals offensive line coach had lunch at freaking Skyline Chili. Now, I'm not a big fan of Skyline Chili, but you know what I mean? It's just so snazzy. It gets us. Then, congratulations to your bye. Your quarterback looked hot as a woman. Your quarterback looked hot as a woman. Fine. He looked hot as a guy. He looked hot as a woman. That man can fuck anybody as a woman and as a guy. This podcast is became rated R off that one statement.
No, this is what the Browns have done to Thomas. This is what he has become. This is your brain, and this is your brain on being a Browns fan.
Shut up. Let's get on the Browns. You go ahead. Go ahead and make a smart ass comment. And then
smart ass comment.
Go ahead and make a smart ass comment. Go ahead. I'm ready for it. I'm
on this spirit. Is I told you not to sleep on the Dolphins, Thomas. Like I didn't sleep on it against the Browns. I didn't even pick against the Browns, or kind of step back a little bit when you're like, oh, the Dolphins look beatable. I didn't say that because of a lack of belief in the Browns. I still think the Browns are probably better than what their record indicates, but the Dolphins are like a legit team, Thomas.
Man, did you not hear me in predictions? I said if I wasn't a Browns fan, I wouldn't pick anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. That's my point.
Yes, I did underestimate the Dolphins. I'll admit that. Fine, I'll admit that. Oh, I got bigger fish to fry than to die on that hill. I got bigger hills to die on.
Big fish. That's all.
No, I mean, I think I got bigger hills to. I personally have bigger hills to die on than the rest of the fact. If we're arguing about if I underestimate the Dolphins, yes, the Dolphins are a big team, are a good team. Yes, maybe I underestimate the Dolphins just a little bit. Yes. Fine, they're a good-ass team. They are a good-ass fucking team. Like, Tua look good. Hill look good. Waddle look good. Freaking whoever the fuck was running the ball look good. But let's be real. My grandma can have 100 yards on the Browns defense right now rushing the ball because we can't stop the run, which I've been saying. And honestly, I thought our secondary was doing their thing until they started getting their ass ran all over them in freaking 90-degree weather. So anyway, that's not here or there. Go ahead and make another smart ass comment.
Look, man, you said it. Like I didn't really believe you because I was like, oh, they can't be that bad. But like I watched this football game, Thomas. I was like, how are you guys letting Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr. look like that.
Yeah. Like when I tell you, okay, we lost to the Falcons, right? Guess how many passes Marcus Mariota completed during that game?
How many is that?
7. I'm pretty sure our offense scored damn near 30 points too.
That's pretty rough.
Yes. They gave us so many rushing yards that the Falcons, with Joe Smo, who's probably pushing groceries right now, gave up more yards against them. He looked better than Nick Chubb that game against the Falcons. So, yeah, our defense sucked. Our defense is really bad. Excuse me. Our defense is really bad. Defense is really bad.
I'm looking at your Pro Football Focus grades right now. And
they're not ranked number 31st.
Across the board on defense, it's like, there's some good splattered in here and there and whatever, except when I go click the run defense tab and sort it by like who had a good run defense grade. And there's like 2 guys, Thomas. There's Jordan Kunasik, linebacker.
Jordan
Kunasik, I think.
Okay,
and Clowney. So some backup middle linebacker in Clowney had good grades against the run, and then everybody else was just atrocious.
I was about to say, Jadeveon Clowney, he's known for being good against the run. I thought you were going to say he was doing bad against the run. Yeah, Jadeveon Clowney, he's known for being good at the run.
Oh, Ronnie Harrison, man. I'm disappointed to see that. Like Ronnie Harrison, that was one of those guys I was really thinking, oh man, the Browns getting Ronnie Harrison, that'll be a really good addition for him.
Yeah.
But, man,
okay, so
against the run.
All right, so let me say this. The defense is very, 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 very very, very, very bad. The defense is horrible. Where do we start? Okay, first of all, Myles Garrett, he's stepping up. I felt like Myles Garrett was non-existent in that game. Myles Garrett, he has good games. Yeah, he had these great Pro Football Focus grades, but like he hasn't been reckoning. He hasn't been setting the tone of defense. But my biggest beef with the defense is John Johnson. It's John Johnson. Why do I have such a big beef with John Johnson? Because this man talked the most shit. Like, this man talked so much shit that all the toilet paper that was bought during the 2020 shutdown could have wiped all the shit that this man be talking. That's how much shit this man be talking.
That's an analogy.
Yeah, you ought to get him all pissed off like this. This man talks the most shit, man. This man talks the most shit, man. So, like, I'm so pissed off at him. I'm so pissed off at him. I'm sick of his shit. Because all right, fine. You had a great season with the Rams back in 2019, y'all made the Super Bowl. Fine. I give that to you. You were a safety for the Rams. You was an all-pro safety for the Rams. But what the fuck have you done since then? Like, what have you done for me lately? I'm going to go by Janet Jackson on you. What have you done for me lately, Janet Jackson, John Johnson?
I think Janet Jackson has done more to advance the game of football than John Johnson.
Look, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Defense sucks. We already know this.
I spent plenty of time on Janet Jackson. Your audio just cut out.
But my biggest point here is that the Browns would be a 6-3 team with Deshaun Watson. I genuinely believe that. My audio here said back on.
Right. Yeah, your audio is really bad right now.
Yeah, I know it went out because of because I got a freaking phone.
Okay.
The one.
Okay, so Actually, I'm gonna let you finish, but
right.
I'm gonna respond to that what you said about being a 6-3 team with Deshaun.
I think the Browns will be 6-3 with Deshaun Watson. I think that they will still lose to the Dolphins. I think they will lose to the Patriots. And probably, I don't think Deshaun Watson will save the Jets. And then you have Deshaun Watson, you win that game against the Ravens. I think you have Deshaun Watson, you beat the Falcons decisively. I think you still beat Carolina. I think you're 6-3 with Deshaun Watson. What's your response?
Okay, so with Deshaun Watson, I think the Browns. Let's see. I don't think you beat Miami. First of all, like I don't think Deshaun Watson changes at all what happens with Miami.
I agree with that.
You don't beat New England. I don't think you beat the Chargers either. Because I feel like Jacoby Brissett did fine against the Chargers. Like as no,
I will push back against that because he had some that during that game he had some decisive interceptions.
Okay, but Deshaun Watson's going to throw interceptions too.
Not like that guy did. That guy
not consistently every week.
Wait, hold on. Actually, that's a good point. Actually. The Browns, if you remember that game against the Chargers, the Browns were driving down the field and they were within 5 yards of taking the lead of the game against the Chargers. And Jacoby Brissett threw an interception in the end zone. If you remember, and I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he threw 2 interceptions like near the end zone or right at the end zone. And I kept on thinking to myself, man, and that's when you came on the podcast the very next day. He was like, here, see Thomas, he's throwing late game interceptions with the pressure. He did it twice. That game. I don't think Deshaun Watson does it.
Okay, so I'm going to slightly push back against something that you said, and it's actually going to be a positive about the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually so I only think that if Deshaun Watson plays, I think the Browns right now are, let's see, what would that be? I think maybe you could maybe make the argument that with Deshaun Watson they're 5-4. Although I will say there's also the matter of like I said, there's going to be some rust and he might not be great right away. So I mean maybe you don't win that game with Carolina early on. I actually do think that they could have beat New York if they had slightly better quarterback play, down the stretch.
Yeah.
So I actually think that I would count that Jets game as one of those games. I think the Browns would have won that with Deshaun Watson, but I still think Atlanta, Los Angeles, New England, maybe Baltimore. Definitely that losing streak they went through in the early middle of the season. I think that losing streak the Browns went on, that still happens. Maybe you beat Baltimore. But like those other 3 teams, I think in general the Browns are just outclassed by those teams.
With that said, I think there are problems with this team that need to be addressed this offseason. The defense is obviously a problem. I don't think that Joe Woods is our defensive coordinator going forward. With that said, I got best case scenario and worst case scenario.
Okay.
You want to hear my best case scenario and my worst case scenario for the Browns?
Go ahead.
First of all, I don't want to even address the idiots who think that we should fire Kevin Stefanski. If you think we should fire Kevin Stefanski, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Ain't that right, Kerry?
I agree.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. You want to?
I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is, but he sounds like a smart person.
Oh, that's my cousin. That's my cousin from Cincinnati.
Tell your cousin.
He's a Browns fan, though.
Tell your cousin I no longer like him.
Anyway, my whole thing is that so my best case scenario is, and we'll get to the Bengals. My best case scenario is that the Browns win against Tampa Bay. I'm a very positive person. They're not beating the Bills. But yeah. I want Montegaji for Christmas too. They're not beating the Bills. So they beat Tampa Bay. They have 4 with that. They're 4-7, right? and then Deshaun Watson comes back, doesn't miss a beat, and they go 10-7 for the rest. They win out, and they go 10-7. That's the absolute best case scenario. That is the ceiling. That is the hope of mile hump. That's the greatest thing that can happen to this team. The worst case scenario, which is probably more likely to happen, they get smashed against the Bills, and they get smashed against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the season's over. The season's absolutely over. The season's done. There's nothing to root for no more. Season's done. You're not going even if the Deshaun Watson wins out, then you're just nothing's going to happen. So you get Deshaun Watson. You got 6 games. It's going to be pretty much all audition period to go like, all right, Deshaun Watson, show us what you got. Like they say in Rick and Morty, show us what you got. Those 6 games, I'm confident, even in my worst case scenario, I'm confident in those 6 games, Deshaun Watson can use that time to improve his value and get acclimated with the game. And I think by the 2nd or 3rd game, Deshaun Watson will be in rhythm and he won't miss a beat. Because unlike Russell Westbrook, Deshaun Watson has been playing with the coaches all offseason. He has been working the playbook. He have knowledge of the game. He's been with his team since March. So he knows that playbook. And he don't have nothing else but football. This man wasn't shooting commercials. I got news for you. Nobody's going to endorse this motherfucker. So not like he's not shooting commercials. It was like he was partying. This man was bowling. With his girlfriend. They study his game while he's bowling with his girlfriend. He's going to be fine. Kyle, he's going to be fine. So fine. You got 6 games where he's rusty and whatever. At the end of the day, Cleveland, you have your franchise quarterback. The thing that you've been waiting for since Barney Kosar, who, in my opinion, was just an above-average quarterback, which I'm not ready to have that conversation. But Deshaun Watson is our franchise quarterback. Deshaun Watson is our franchise quarterback, and he will be our franchise quarterback for the next 10 years. So even if the season's a wash, next year you have Deshaun Watson. Fix the damn defense and run it back next year. Fuck it. But fire Joe Woods. That's the worst case scenario for me.
I have 2 things to say about what you just said. First of all, it's not my favorite thing in the world to correct you about this, but I'm going to anyway because I try to remain objective. But don't disrespect Bernie Kosar. That man was
look. How many championships have he won for us?
Who, Bernie Kosar?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he might have won one if a certain human being hadn't fumbled the ball on the goal line.
Well, he lost to the Denver Broncos twice. At the end of the day, he lost to the Denver Broncos twice.
Yeah, but John Elway is probably the best quarterback of that generation.
It don't matter, man. You got to at least get one on him. LeBron James is the best basketball player of our generation, and he was the 4 straight finals.
Yes, but at the same time,
lost 3 of them.
Just because LeBron James dominated doesn't mean that you're we're over here saying, oh, Damian Lillard wasn't a good basketball player, just because he never beat LeBron.
Hey, man, don't hate that. No, I'm saying LeBron lost 3 out of 4 finals in Cleveland.
Oh well, so I mean he won one though. I think is
even the greatest are beatable though. That's what I'm saying, man. Barney Kosar, how many years he quarterback for the Browns? 10 years. He never got to the Super Bowl.
Something like that.
I mean, I'm not impressed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, 80s Cleveland fans. Your generation sucks.
That brings me to my other point that I was going to make about what you're saying. So, that's great. Deshaun Watson, franchise quarterback of the Browns for the next 10 years. If Browns fans will let him be.
Yeah, see, okay, so that's the other thing.
Yes. I absolutely believe, Thomas, that Deshaun Watson will be a top 5 quarterback for the next, at least the next, 3 or 4 years, and he'll definitely
hold on.
For the Browns for the next 10.
Can you just say that? Just say that again. Say that again. Just say that part again. Before you get to your if, I know there's an if coming. Say that first part again.
Well, with the caveat that there's an if.
Say the first part again, though.
Deshaun Watson could be a top 5 quarterback for the next 3 to 4 years, and then also the franchise quarterback for the next 10.
Yes, but what's the if?
The if is if Browns fans will let him.
You know what? I don't agree with you
is
more.
Gonna make mistakes, and Browns fans have a tendency to run dudes out of town for farting the wrong way.
I don't disagree with you. Not even a middle second. In fact, I 110% disagree. 10% agree with you. I get so flabbergasted by Browns fans, and I'm a diehard Browns fan. And you know who really makes me mad? You know who the worst Browns fans of all? There are two worst Browns fans. There's the Browns fans who root for another team who say, "Yeah, I'm not a Browns fan," but the Browns fans soon as they start winning, they're like, "Oh, yeah, I'm a Browns fan today." Like, you're the 49ers fan last week. You're like, "Yeah, but the Browns suck." Like, no, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. There's a lot of them who just don't want to take the losing. No, you can't take losing because you weak. You weak. Fuck you. There's a lot of F words going on today. I literally turned this into a rated R podcast. I'm so pissed off today.
That's totally fine.
Anyway, fuck those guys. And then the old Browns fans, the Browns fans from the 60s, the ones who cry about the driving and fumble every day. Oh my God, driving and fumble. No, dude, it's over with. Get over yourself. Next year haven't happened yet. Don't manifest bad luck. Yeah, it's whatever. Go Browns.
All right. So we can move on to the Bengals. I don't know if I can really follow that up though. Like we should have saved that one. But either ways, I don't have much to talk about with the Bengals. The only thing is like just a couple of notes, and we'll get into it a little bit more on the next episode because obviously that'll be the preview for the upcoming game. But the Bengals are expected to get right now. The Bengals are expected to get both DJ Reader and Mike Hilton back from injury.
Okay.
So that could be huge, and then obviously Jamar Chase should be back in a couple of weeks. So Bengals had the bye, and they're starting to get healthier. And going into we are approaching Steeler week. Bengals just had their bye, but this is my mood. This is my mood for the next 7 days, Thomas.
You better smoke them. You better smoke them. I feel that. I feel that completely. You go Jamar Chase.
Literally don't care that picture happened. I mean, I kind of cared like after the game when that picture came out. I'm like, oh, that's an awesome picture, but it happened in a loss. But like now that there's been some time between that loss, I don't care. I don't care that it happened in a loss. Fuck the Steelers.
Yeah,
that's my favorite picture of all time.
Yeah, fuck Steelers. My cousin over eating beat-ups. I'm kind of mad.
I'm kind of jealous of that too.
Yeah, what kind of wings you got?
Boneless buffalo.
Yeah, that's gonna be the Steelers this weekend. They're gonna be boneless buffalo.
Yeah, because we're gonna destroy them.
Yeah, they're them dumbass boneless buffaloes.
All right, so anything you want to point out about the Bengals this week, Thomas? I'll give you the floor a little bit. Otherwise, we're going to move on.
Jamar Chase. I'm sorry. Joe Burrow's hot as a woman.
Okay, you keep saying that.
He is. I was like, damn. Like,
real quick, let's.
I just hate that.
We haven't done this. We haven't done this yet, but I know you're probably not like wanting to think about that game too much, but you still got to do it. Give me an underrated player of the week.
I'm sorry, I just got another phone call that just freaking ruined my headphone settings. Give me a second, because I heard you, but I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I said I know you probably don't want to talk about or think about this game much, but we still got to do this segment. Give me your underrated player of the week.
Oh, my underrated player of the week? Oh, shit. Man, they all suck. They all suck, man. Like even Nick Chubb didn't have a good game, and like people were like, "Yeah, Browns should run the ball." Like, how you gonna run the ball when you're down by 20? And Nick Chubb got stuffed the first 3 times he ran the ball, or first 10 times he ran the ball. He fumbled. He wasn't having a good game, people. So I don't want to hear the run the ball crowd. David Bell, he had a catch or two, right?
Yeah. I called
that guy.
his name like a couple times, I think.
Yeah, the rookie. Yeah, I like him. I like what I'm seeing from him. Yeah, that guy. I like him. Yeah,
I'm giving it to Donovan Peoples-Jones. Which it was not the first time I've given him the underrated player of the week award, but like, yeah, I feel like people sleep on this guy too much. Like, I know he's inconsistent. He's not always playing up to his potential, but like when he does, dude, DPJ is a problem. He almost went over 100 yards this week. And in particular, the first play of the game, like the first entire play of the game, other than obviously the kickoff, was a massive, it was a 38-yard catch for him that set the Browns up for what looked like it was going to end up being an offensive slugfest. And it really just ended up being more of a one-sided slugfest. But it looked like it was going to be a very high-scoring game on both sides early on.
Do you think Deshaun Watson scored more than 17 points?
He could, but the Dolphins also have a good defense. Like,
I don't think. See, I've been saying this though. One thing about Jacoby Brissett, just because he doesn't throw interceptions doesn't mean he's not a bad quarterback. One thing about Jacoby Brissett, and I'm not sure you probably haven't had a chance to watch him in person yet, is that he doesn't push the ball downfield. And anytime you're at the game, because they don't show the receivers when you're watching on TV, there are open receivers all the time. He just can't get the ball to them because he don't have a throwing capability. That's why I've been yelling Deshaun Watson's name, because I know that you have a quarterback that can't throw the ball down the field. He can't move the ball down the field. And everybody sees that who watches the game. He cannot push the ball downfield unless somebody's wide open. Everybody sees that.
That's fair. I do think, Deshaun Watson probably could have gotten y'all to like 21 maybe, but I really don't think that the Browns really stand much of a chance at all in that game with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, we probably lost.
It's still a blowout. Like, he's maybe good for like another 4 to 7 points, but that's about it.
I think it's gonna be a big difference when Deshaun Watson plays.
Well, that's
maybe
what I'm
not
saying.
this year.
It could be a big difference, and it's still only 4 to 7 points. Because honestly, like a whole extra touchdown in a football game, that's a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Kind of like the difference between like good Josh Allen and bad Josh Allen. Speaking of which, let's go into these predictions.
All right, awesome. Oh, I got that one right.
Yeah, you got that one right. I got it wrong.
Yes.
So I guess we'll start off with that. So, right now, the record looks a little weird because obviously, like, I picked my big upset of the week for the Monday Night Football game. You got yours wrong. So your record looks a little skewed compared to mine. Like,
who was my big upset of the week?
It was the Browns, wasn't it?
Ah, dang, it sure was.
Yeah, I thought it was, but yeah. So you're 7-8 right now. I'm 7-6, but that will change one way or the other when I get my when we find out what happens in the Commanders Eagles game tonight. So right now on the year, I'm 71-48-1. You're 63-61-1. So got a little bit of catching up to do, but the way we do it now with these big upsets and everything, it's very easily done with one good week. You have a good week, I have a bad week, and you're right there.
Yeah, I'm not doing too well right now.
Well, you had a really bad start. You've been doing better since then.
Yeah, but see, man, it's just my football team is bad.
That's true. Hey, when I'm doing my power rankings, the Browns have pretty much been living in the bad category for a while now.
Shut up, man. Yeah.
All right, so games we both got wrong. Actually, only 2 of them right now. So we both thought that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were going to lose to the Seattle Seahawks in Germany. We thought the Seahawks would win that game. And I think I heard someone mention how, like, Tom Brady, when he's doubted, like turns it on. And like people are starting to doubt Tom Brady. And oh, look at that, the Buccaneers are winning again.
Yeah, you know what it is. You said they beat Green Bay, right? I think it's just Green Bay. I just think Green Bay is bad.
Yeah, Green Bay is bad. We both got that game right, though. We both said the Cowboys. No. That's one we both got wrong. We both
wait. Hold on. Square table degenerates. I didn't say that Deshaun Watson is going to save the season. I said best case and worst case scenario. Now the season's over. The season's over. Let's all be real.
I know.
The season's over.
I know. Joe is a Kevin Stefanski trash truther, but look, you're not exactly in friendly territory on that one, Joe. Me and Thomas both think that it's not in any way, shape, or form Kevin Stefanski's fault.
Oh no, he did say Kevin. Bring up the comment again. He did say Kevin Stefanski's still the guy.
Yeah, he said Kevin Stefanski's still the coach, and that's why he's not optimistic about.
Yeah, no. So yeah, no, we're not. I'm not. You're not going to hear. Look, I'm not saying that Kevin Stefanski's the best coach in the world, but the fact of the matter is, what were they coming to this week? Where they ranked 6th in offense efficiency with a backup quarterback?
Something like that.
Yeah, man, come on, man. Y'all want to fire Joe Wood. I am all for the Joe Wood slaughter. Like, give me all the Joe Wood slaughter. Like y'all want to say all this shit about Joe Woods. Y'all want to go have sex with Joe Woods' wife. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you can spin, go for it. Like, whatever. Fuck that guy.
I don't understand. Like this whole play calling argument, man. Like Bengals fans say the same thing about Zach Taylor, and it's such a weak argument, honestly. Like it couldn't play call a junior high game. What does that even mean? Like I could like explain that a little bit more.
I think Kevin Stefanski's fine.
No, here's the thing. Like play action actually like if you have like. Okay, so play action is not going to work in that game against the Dolphins, right? Because the Dolphins, if you don't respect the run, and the Browns couldn't run, then yeah, play action is not going to work. But when you have the running game that you have, like when the Browns like are just running down your throat constantly, play action is what you want to do. Now, part of the problem is you got rid of Baker Mayfield, who's one of the best play action quarterbacks in the NFL. So, I mean, that's part of the thing. Like, like this offense is still, I think, somewhat designed. And you know what, Joe, I will actually grant you that. You could maybe make the argument that, like, Kevin Stefanski hasn't adapted his game plan to the new quarterbacks that he has, because it seems like he designed his offense around Baker Mayfield, and he's still trying to use the same offense. So, I mean, you could maybe make that argument, I think.
For me, it seems like the offense is designed around, what's his face? Deshaun Watson. And
Deshaun Watson's not known as a play action passer, though.
I mean, but he could be, can he?
Well, any quarterback in the NFL could be. I'm just saying that's not really like his style is like improvisation and like, making crazy stuff happen. Whereas
I can't wait till you play. I can't wait till you play.
Scheming crazy things to happen.
It sucks, man. Because I got this very nice guy who may or may not be nice, depending on whether you believe allegations or not. Who's really good at this thing called football. Who can really throw the football so well, he's worth $230 million. And I can't watch him play until later.
You not feeling the tackles, Joe?
I mean, it did feel like what's his name is getting his ass whooped. Chubb was getting his ass whooped yesterday.
Who?
Yes, Chubb was getting his ass whooped.
Chubb was getting his ass whooped?
Yeah, Chubb was getting his ass whooped, man.
You mean Nick Chubb. Okay, I was thinking because Joe was talking about the line play on the.
Oh, so you're thinking of Bradley Chubb?
I thought you were talking about
Chubb
Bradley
was whooping
Chubb.
ass.
I was like, no, he was doing good.
Yeah. No. Nick Chubb would get his ass.
Yeah, dude, Jedrick Wills was like a kind of a penalty machine. I don't know what was up with him, but like I mean,
Jedrick Wills suck. Hey,
Jack
well, how do you feel?
back? Like I thought Jack was good.
Hey, how do you feel about Jedrick Wills?
That's a very interesting question because I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't pay too much attention to the offensive line. He's all right.
No, he sucked. All right, so
I spent too much time arguing with Browns fans on Twitter.
I realize that you can hear everything I say and you can hear everything he's saying, so you can hear all before the conversation right now. But yeah, he's all right. All right, so anyway, back to the topic, predictions.
Right, so getting back to the original topic of all of this, but yeah, we both thought that the Green Bay Packers were going to lose to the Dallas Cowboys, and quite frankly, Thomas, it looked like that was like the way that the Packers have been lately was what was going to happen. It looked like the Packers were going to lose the game again, the way they regularly lose games, and then they came alive in the second half. So, I mean, you gotta give it credit. Like as much as we like to shit talk Aaron Rodgers, he's still a very talented quarterback. Like, I mean, the problem is he's got so cocky and full of himself, and the Packers just let. I think Matt LaFleur has gotten. Some of the things that Joe's complaining about with Kevin Stefanski and not adapting the game plan, I think Matt LaFleur is starting to get like that too. And you're starting to see a lot of these cracks and problems that kind of come along with people just kind of getting comfortable in the situation they're in. But they changed it up this week against the Cowboys, and it looked good. And I think part of it was the Cowboys kind of exposed themselves as not frauds, but definitely they exposed themselves as having some major flaws that can be easily exploited if you know what to look for.
Dude, what happened to Dak Prescott, man?
What do you mean? I mean, he looks the same as he's always looked to me. He can be a really good quarterback, but I mean, I've never considered him to be an elite quarterback or anything like that.
Oh, well, then there you go. Maybe I just have more faith in him than you did.
I mean, he's a fifth-round pick for a reason.
I mean, he looks all right, but there's moments where I'm like, yo, what is this man doing?
Yeah,
there was some crazy bad stat about him. And one of the ESPN hosts brought it up. What's his name? Greeny Gumbo? Not Gumbo. Greeny Mike Greeny, I think his name is.
Mike Green.
Yeah, he's the Mike and Mike in the morning. He was the host for Mike and Mike in the morning.
The guy with the big mouth.
Yeah, the skinny one. The skinny Mike and Mike in the morning. Hey, that guy. There was a stat about Dak Prescott, and Dak Prescott didn't like that. He tweeted at him, and then he sucked again, and then he went right back at him. I can't make this shit up.
Get your shit together. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, get your shit together.
So the big difference this week right now is it was kind of a rough week for both of us as far as predictions go. But the big difference right now is the fact that the big upset of the week, the triple down, which is what we're calling it now. Thomas, you got yours wrong because you basically tripled down on the Browns. You're like, you know what, I'm riding or dying with them. It's if I believe it's gonna happen, and if it doesn't, I'm going down with the ship. That was pretty much what your energy was, and
I'm pretty sure I said those exact words.
Hasn't gone up yet, so.
I'm pretty sure I said those exact words.
I think it was something like that. I think I was paraphrasing, but maybe you did say those exact words.
Nope, I'm pretty sure those are the exact words.
Okay.
Hey, let's both pick the Steelers to win.
Yeah, we did both pick the Steelers to win, and it made me very sad. But
no, it made me happy. You know why it made me happy, Cal? You know why?
Why?
Because it proves that that we are doing a good job of staying bipartisan in this podcast.
Well, I mean, that's just pretty much my perspective anyway. I mean, even before I started a podcast, even before I was in sports media, my perspective's always been I'm going to tell it like it is. Like I hate it when like people try to get all pessimistic and be like, I'm just being a realist. And it's like, that's not what being a realist is, bro. Being a realist
being an asshole.
is like looking at both sides objectively equally, not just like pointing out the bad and being like, it's bad. And then like thinking that, like you've said something profound because you're like, negativity is the way of the future. Like that's literally the definition of being a pessimist. But I've always in general like tried to stay. Obviously I get very emotional as a fan, and so I'm not going to say that I never say crazy stuff or anything like that. But I have always tried to be like, when it's a good thing or when it's a bad thing, I'm gonna say it like it is. And I've always been that way with the Steelers, as much as I also, try to point out how much they suck and are going to lose every single game. But when you actually have to sit down and analyze what's really going on, you can't always say that with some objectivity. And the fact of the matter is, going into this game, the Steelers have been riding a little bit of confidence lately, and the Saints look awful. So, I mean, what did you think was going to happen? Also, it's Andy Dalton going up against the Steelers. I've seen this movie too many times. I'm a Bengals fan. I've seen Andy Dalton against the Steelers too many times in my life to not know what happens.
This is the start of the AFC North, right? Like the state of the AFC North, right? We're doing this now.
Yeah, that's actually a good transition into it, I think.
Okay, cool. The Steelers, what they need to be doing is they need to be tanking for that quarterback Alabama because he looks way too good right now.
Well, they ain't going to be doing that. They might. I'm not saying that they wouldn't dare tank, that they're above tanking or anything like that, but they ain't taking a quarterback. They're going to at least give Kenny Pickett another year before they move on.
That's hilarious to me.
I mean,
that's just hilarious. Because Kenny Pickett, he's not good. He shouldn't. I think they got a better chance of rolling with Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I have yet to see so far. In the amount of Steelers film that I've watched, I have yet to see one thing that can makes me oh, that's why they took Kenny Pickett in the first round. I haven't seen it yet. He looks like a backup quarterback, who's just getting his first shot after 7 years of being a backup. I mean, he doesn't look like. How was this guy a first round pick? Honestly, I don't see it right now.
He's a first round pick because he went to Pittsburgh, and because he went to Pittsburgh, he should have magical football powers. And when he plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers, those magical football powers will come alive, and he will be a magically great quarterback.
I think it was fan service. I think they picked him because of fan service. Honestly.
Hey man, that's exactly why Browns fans be firing coaches so many times.
Hey, you know what? Maybe we'll all get our wish, and the Pittsburgh Steelers will start operating like the Cleveland Browns.
Hey, hopefully, man. Yeah,
that would be fun.
Fire Tomlin.
So my last little bit of my last little bit about the Steelers. It seems their formula for winning right now, and again, this is just more fodder for the what the hell are you doing with Kenny Pickett train, but the formula for winning football games for the Steelers right now seems to be playing a bad team, running the ball, and making Kenny Pickett stay the hell out of the way. Because they won, and Kenny Pickett had what, like 100 something yards and no touchdowns but no interceptions.
Yeah, he's so bad.
If he stays out of the way, then the Steelers might have a chance to win games. He finished off with a completion percentage of 60% and a QBR of 45.4. But obviously that was enough because Andy Dalton turns into a
Durton. You said it, not me.
I mean, he looks like Andy Durpin out there.
Andy Durpin.
Again, when he plays in primetime or when he plays against the Steelers, Andy Dalton looks like Andy Durpin. That's what he looks like.
Andy Durpin.
Yeah, hey, just in time too. Mikey Saints fans for life comes in, says he's depressed because they lost to Kenny Pickett. Yeah, you should be.
No,
You
no, no,
should be
no, no, no,
depressed.
no, no,
That's
no,
the
no,
problem.
no. Listen, Mr. Saints fan. You're depressed. You're depressed. You understand what it's like to be a Browns fan. Be like, as a Saints fan, if y'all bad, people are just like, whatever. See, but like when the Browns are bad, everybody and their mamas come out their way to just tease us, man. People drive from China to laugh at the Browns. Oh, the Browns just lost. Ooh, let me go to America and make fun of Cleveland.
Well, in fairness, Thomas, that like back in the day, that was the Saints. The Saints used like way back in the day before the Bengals were like that. The laughing stock of the NFL was like there was like Tampa Bay Buccaneers and there was the New Orleans Saints. Like the Aints, back like during the Archie Manning and before that era, the Saints were basically what the Cleveland Browns are now.
Thank God we got Deshaun Watson.
That's what Mikey just said. He said at least you get lost to a good team and you're getting Deshaun Watson back. Yeah, y'all ain't getting Jameis Winston back, are you? No, look, I'm telling you, if y'all want to play a bunch of football games at 4:25 p.m., then Andy Dalton's going to do amazing for you.
No, the Saints need to go out and get Bryce Young.
Well, that's just what people called you, Mikey. That like people called them the Aints back then. That's what it was.
Yeah, the Browns need to go out and get the Browns. The Saints, they need to just tank and get Bryce Young. That boy's sweet, man. I finally got a chance to sit down and watch him play because I felt embarrassed about the last podcast when we trying to talk about college football quarterbacks and I had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. That boy Bryce Young is sweet. I've
heard a lot of good things about Bryce Young. I haven't looked up his tape yet, though. Obviously haven't had much need to because Joe Burrow, but All right. So last bit that we should probably get to, let's talk about. I don't really have a whole lot to say about him, but you always do, Thomas. So let's talk about the Ravens before we get out of here.
Yo, the Ravens, who are on the bye this week, play against the Carolina Panthers next week. Guess who's starting our quarterback for the Carolina Panthers?
That boy.
Guess who's?
That's who's starting.
You're laughing, and I'm laughing too because I love this. I love this, man. I love it because Baker Mayfield, the Carolina Panthers still win that division.
They can.
They sure can.
It's amazing, but they can.
Like, and it's not even like they gotta go undefeated for the rest of the season. No, they just stay above 500 for the rest of the season. If they win more games than they lose for the rest of the season, they might win that division. Even if they don't win more than they lose, they could probably still win the division. Anyway, that's not here or there. My whole point is Baker Mayfield playing against Lamar Jackson in the Ravens. Ravens versus Carolina Panthers. Let me see if I got this right. You know what? Look, Kyle, never before done on the podcast. I'm just going to go ahead and do my big upset of the week now. I think the Carolina Panthers are going to beat the Ravens.
Okay. All right. Well, we're about 3 or 4 days away from making predictions, but I'm glad you made yours already.
Yeah, go ahead and write that down, whatever. Okay. My big upset of the week is Baker Mayfield beating the Carolina Ravens. My big upset of the week is the Baker Mayfield beating the Ravens. I think he's going to go in there. I think he's going to beat the Ravens. I think he's going to shock a lot of people. But not only just that, it's because Carolina Panthers got a good defense. I think Baker Mayfield is probably he had enough time to get on with offense. And by the way, Cal, you talk about quarterbacks doing the best when their backup is against the wall. Nobody had their backup against the wall more than Baker Mayfield does right now. He does a great job with that against the wall. So I can't wait for Baker Mayfield to beat Lamar Jackson and claim his throne. Carolina Panthers starting quarterback. Or Lamar in Baltimore. And then we can start having the Lamar Jackson conversation. That man cannot throw. Because Carolina got the defense to expose Lamar Jackson's throwing ability.
Man, you and me have been having the Lamar Jackson conversation for a while at this point.
Yeah, I know. It just sucks. Gonna keep on winning, man. They keep on winning on the bullshit, man.
It's
like on
and
the
you know what
bullshit.
else sucks? Have you seen the rest of their schedule? It's so easy, man.
I know. But I mean, they're gonna be a first round bounce anyway in the playoffs. We'll make the playoffs and be like, yeah, see, we did it again. And then Lamar Jackson looked horrible in the playoffs. And I can hear Mike Green already. We're going to have a Lamar Jackson conversation. Ha! He said it. 1-5 in the playoffs. Come on, man.
Lamar. Now, I will say, like, Mikey over here saying Lamar can throw, but Mikey also just watched Lamar do things against his bad defense. So for what that's worth. But anyway, y'all, that's pretty much, I think, all we got for this episode of the Battle of Ohio podcast. So thank you so much for watching. You can always find more of what I do at Kyle Phelps 92 on Twitter, facebook.com/thephelps, atbnetwork.com, my YouTube channel, which is just Kyle Phelps, which you may be watching from right now. I don't know. But you can check out more of what he does at the Thomas J Network on YouTube and TikTok. And T_star94 on Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, I think that's all we got. So anything left you want to say, Thomas?
Yeah, Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. I'm hearing it's really good.
I haven't seen it either. I gotta go see it.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know. But anyway, that's all we got for this one, y'all. So I'll leave y'all as always with Hoo Day.
Go Browns. Ish.